Hey guys, this is Cal LF with another episode of Mock Talks, and today I'm talking about future post-apocalyptic Derbis turtle weathered Tahu. Kind of a mouthful there, but this is a new addition to my mock collection, made specifically for a new series of videos I recently released, Turtle Search Parts 1 through 4, and those are all available on the main Cal LF channel if you are seeing this mock for the first time and wondering what the heck this is. Um, which is not the way I would have liked it to be, especially considering the main reason I'm making this video is because I got a few comments asking for it. So I thought I'd make a few new mock talks because this series brought out a few new mocks that I'd like to talk about and share. And this one has a lot to say in regards to the process. So for one thing, I'll say that I wrote the whole script, the whole series of scripts, which calls for a future Tahu, about a year ago, more or less. It took a while for me to actually get together making it all. For one thing, I wanted to wait to get all the lines ahead of time so that I would be able to kind of make them quickly, which ended up working out now that they're finished. However, the first episode called for a lot of kind of interesting things that I hadn't done before. There were scenes of them on a dock with a boat, scenes on a beach, lots of green screening stuff that I had done before, and I wrote knowing that I could accomplish it, but also wrote knowing, not really considering how much of a lazy being I am. So that's why it did end up taking so long. It's not like I sat on my laurels and did nothing in the last year, but I just pushed this to the side, and also I didn't have all the lines. So only one scene was filmed in 2018. A pretty easy, manageable scene, the very first scene of the 4 parts. So yeah, that's a lot of time wasted. That has nothing to do with Tahu. Let's actually get to the mock and me building it. Um, he was only built very like a week or so ago. Actually, I made these things as I went, and I knew that I had to get on building this guy because the script had called for it. The concept of him has been around for a year, and I did know that I wanted to use the infected How for him, and an idea that had developed. Which I was thankfully able to execute, was the idea of taking the standard Tahu color scheme. Here's the Tahu revamp, for example, of red, bright Lego red, and orange, and seeing if I could darken it and use the bright orange color that's Hookie's shade of brown and mix that with dark red. And I think it worked. It looks good overall. Obviously, I was not able to achieve the same color distribution with the legs, in which I got lazy and I just used Knight's Kingdom armor. In fact, the funny thing about this mock is his back is very lazy. Look at that. You can see the pieces. I got pretty lazy there. And that shin design is super basic. But that's kind of this is the only thing you really can do around this piece because it's so bulky. For that, I'm talking about the Knight's Kingdom shin armor pieces. It's a simple technique. I'm sure there's a couple other ways you could design it, but thankfully Lego creating the 5-length Technic beam pieces made this pretty easy slap together shin. The rest of it was not a slap together. The forearms were obviously copy pasted and slightly adjusted from my Pohatu 2015 revamp using the Tohunga feet to make it use the sorry, I lost my train of thought. Using the Tohunga feet to make broad forearms, and in the other mock it was also the upper arm. But here he has even arms, though he does have different weapons on each one. Obviously, visually you can see the concept is post-apocalyptic, just a lot of weapons, and that was kind of part of the idea. I didn't really think of it. A lot of the details of what I actually did came about as I was building it. For example, I started with the torso, and I wondered how exactly to do it, and I was thinking about putting these pieces in a number of places. As soon as I looked at them and saw I had them spare, I knew that I wanted to use them. But then the idea of using them as chess pieces, kind of in place of these two HF shells on the original, that was a funny idea to me, and it ended up working out. In addition to getting some kind of fun color layer, not color layering, but a little bit, with the way that the dark red surrounds the Metru Matoran chest piece below. I'm happy with the overall look of it, but I'm not very happy with the torso design as a whole. It works for this and this alone, but it's a very messy design, and as you can see from the back, it doesn't look great. And really the main reason he has the sword on his back. Oops, I knocked him over. The main reason he has the sword on his back is as a way to cover up how bad the torso design looks from the back. Yeah, I gave him a belt full of weapons. That was just trying to make him look as rugged as possible. The thunder shoulder heads also came about of me just messing around with trying to get the upper arm design right, and take advantage of every single bright orange piece I had. I wanted to see if I could use the bow rock eyes, and the shells were incredibly handy, and I didn't want to just try and copy paste. I wanted to get the color distribution right with the black and the silver. Obviously, it's not the exact same as how the Nuva should look, but it's more or less close enough. One thing that I did also try and do after the fact, after really noticing, because the main reason why I wanted to use the Infected How mask is because it does more or less look dark red and green, and it kind of helps portray that post-apocalyptic vibe. But I kind of I don't look at the mask every day, and I kind of underestimated how much normal red was on it. And thankfully it works out, though. It's not too distracting, especially I tried to help with that by putting little red pieces throughout to try and break it up. Normal Mata red pieces. He's got a Mata red, Metru chest piece as his waist, like I've done with many other models. He's got that there to try and kind of break up the dark red. He's got the little hand connectors there. But yeah, just things to try and make it accentuate. And also I added the little green accents as well to try and make it not look like the green is out of nowhere on the torso and the look of everything. Posability is pretty standard. Bending knees, legs, ankles. He's got arms that can spin around. Forearms, that is. Standard hand movement as well. He's got more posability than this one, but his problem is he's very, very top heavy. And when I started filming with this guy, he was moving a lot like this from frame to frame, and I just couldn't really deal with it. Would have been a lot of movement and would have been kind of difficult to continue to do. So I ended up building these. I mean, obviously very simple, but plugging these into the back of his legs to help give him further support. So after that first shot where you kind of see him as a whole, every other shot in the episode he had these attached to the back of his legs to try and balance him. That's basically all there is to say on this one. I got into a lot of details and the time reflects it. Here's a little size comparison of him with a little Matoran Tahu. Technically more or less IDS's design from his Bionicle Mata series, which there's only 3, but they're really good, so you should watch those. And yeah, here's also a size comparison with another mock that I made that I will probably also do a mock talk of, Taraga Vakama. I decided to redo him since the other model that I had, and I think I've done a mock talk of that one. That one's pretty old, and I wanted to, since it's the first time he's technically showing up in Mata, I wanted to come in with a fresh design. So if you want me to do that one, please let me know in the comments below. There are other things I'd like to do mock talks of. I'm also testing some new mic that I got. It's like a test thing. So if you think these mics sounds good, I'll put the link in the description, but I'm not really being paid or anything. I just got it for free. So if you want to buy it, whatever. I don't know why I'm going on like this. I did not prepare any kind of promotion product thing. But yeah, I guess final word is that this is kind of like the Tahu 2008 I always wanted in some senses. Obviously, he's also very overboard with his details and looking post-apocalyptic and weapons and such. But other than that, he's got a very strong, powerful vibe that I kind of hope for in something from 2008 as opposed to the sad dragon we got. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Please let me know if I ramble way too much, and I'll try and make the next episode shorter. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.